Hey, what's up guys, this is Raptor Red, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make your own GPDs in Black Ops 1 for zombies. You'll be able to use these online as long as it's not private match and also solo. So what you're going to need is a program called Xero, and I'll have a link in the description for you to go download it at. It's just a really basic program that allows you to edit the GPD. I know they have some other stuff like Fallout, but we're not messing with that. We're just messing with Black Ops. And the other link in the description is for a Google Doc that I have been putting together for probably like a year and a half to 2 years. And it's basically just like a single place to find all the codes and commands that you need for Xero, because unfortunately they're not easy to find and it's really hard to get all of them. But I have most of them. I know there's still probably a lot out there that I have not seen, but these are definitely the most important ones and or popular ones. So with Xero, you're just going to want to click the Black Ops GPD editor, and you're going to want to open a GPD. If you go to one of my previous videos, I actually have a tutorial about how you actually get the GPD on your profile so you can play online and stuff like that. And I think what I'm going to do is actually put that link into this description as well, so you'll be able to go there and get that. And it just has a ton of pre-made GPDs so you can play on each individual map. And from here you'll actually be able to open one up. And I just have an example, but this is actually just the Kino der Toten map, so you'll just be able to open that. And if you want, you can like have this like to follow along with. But I mean, just by looking at it, you'll notice like it says button back, button start, button R stick, and those are basically the buttons that you're going to be binding mods to. If you've played with my GPDs before, you'll know that if you were to press back and then down on the D-pad, God mode will activate. If you were to press left, no target would activate, that sort of thing. And that's basically what I'm showing you how to do here, except you actually get to choose your own stuff and customize it how you feel or prefer you want to play. And I'm doing this video because there are so many people requesting for such specific GPDs that I decided I'd just show everybody how to do it. And then other people can also like share their GPDs with people, and yeah. So I'm just going to kind of like give an example on this side of what to do. These two commands up here are just your control sticks and button configuration. This is the standard default settings. You might need to go look up if you're playing on like South Par or something. I'm not really sure how that all works or what the codes are for it. But I'm sure they're really easy to find because these are standard for all games, so it shouldn't be too bad. So you're just going to leave those the way they are. And so there's these 3 columns, obviously. The first 2 are for zombies. The third one is for multiplayer only. I've never touched this column before. I have no clue like what will happen just editing some of this stuff. I highly doubt that anything will happen. Probably right when you connect to multiplayer, probably just overwrites everything. But I guess you can try it if you want. I can't say I'm responsible for anything that happens, but you're more than welcome to try it. So basically what you're going to do over here is you're going to start with the button that you want to bind. And you kind of want to have a general idea of what layout you kind of want to have for the mods. Some people might just want like single buttons. For an example, like if I wanted the back button, you type bind button underscore back, and then you press space, and then you start it with a quotation mark. And anything everything within the quotation mark, so there I have two. So anything within this is specific only to the back button. So as you can see, if you look over here, all this stuff is only binded to the back button. If you were to just forget this one quotation mark, the back button wouldn't even work. So you got to be really careful about the characters. It can mess up your entire code, so just watch out for that. So the way I tried to, I guess, battle against that and try to like keep that from happening was I created these spreadsheets, and these are all the correct codes. As long as you have an idea of what you want to do, you can just copy and paste from here and just paste them into Xero, and then you'll never have to worry about the typos other than the like special marks, like the quotation marks or the semicolons, which I'll talk about in a second. So these are the buttons that you'll be binding the mods to. So if you wanted to bind like God mode to the up on the D-pad, you copy and paste bind D-pad up space, and then you type God mode, as you can see like here. So it's like bind D-pad up space no clip. And so everything within this quotation, starting with D-pad up, is binded each to a separate D-pad button. And as you can see, like after no clip, there's a semicolon, and then it starts the next bind. So semicolons actually separate commands, and you need to make sure that you're putting those and not like colons. Just make sure they're semicolons, or else they won't work. So yeah, so once you've like selected the button that you want, you can kind of like look at the notes here. Usually my notes will tell you like things that I've experienced in the past, like referring to like how a specific command or code works. This page is kind of different from the rest of the sheets here, and that's because like these are the actual codes for the D-pad, like the actions for them. So for example, like B like would be plus stance, and very rarely do you actually have to type that, but sometimes they get really glitchy and you won't be able to use it unless you actually put that. Especially like if you have like, for example, like if I'm binding stuff to the back button, that means the scoreboard isn't going to work. So if I want the scoreboard to work, I'd have to type in back and then scoreboard. And I don't know if I put that in here ever. I'll just show you what it looks like right here, I guess. So you just like at the end of this, you just put semicolon and then you just literally type in scoreboard. I believe that's what the code is. You can double check here. Oh, toggle scores. So you can just copy it from here and paste it after that. So there you go. So now if you were to press back, it would toggle the scores. So yeah, so once you have the button selected, you can start moving into the commands or DVARs. And the main difference between these two is that commands affect your player, like your character alone, as well as the game, like the game itself, like the zombies. And then DVARs actually affect you and other players. And that's pretty much the main difference. I mean, some of the stuff will just affect you, but for the most part, that's like the main difference between those two things. So here you can actually see that like the notes are actually more specific to what they actually do. Like God mode is obviously can't die or take damage. And then I have other things like in the DVARs, like magic chest movable 0. So the mystery box can't move if the thing is set to 0, which I show here. If you were to set that 0 to a 1, all of a sudden you'd be able to, like if you were to hit the box a certain amount of times, it would move after a while. Yeah, so when you look at my code, you can just see that it's like after each command, then it's space, and then you put in your own command there. If you want to give guns, it's space, give, and then you'll go to this weapons sheet, and these are all the weapons, these are all the codes, and then these are the upgraded version of those codes. And then these are the equipment. You also have to type in give before them. I'm missing a couple equipment like the Gersh device and like the GPDs and stuff because I cannot find them anywhere. If somebody does actually manage to find the code for them, you should definitely message me and I can definitely add them to this sheet for you. And that'll definitely help a lot of people, and that's really annoying. So yeah, that's basically it. The scoreboard I only dabbled into it. I put it on here just because other people probably want to mess with it too. But as far as I could tell, it only affects your screen. My connection is so bad that I can never host, so I haven't been able to test it as the hosting, so it might change the entire game's scoreboard colors, but I'm not exactly positive on that. But basically, like the blood streak is the colors in the background. So like when you see your names in the background, you see the blood streaks. That's the color for the blood streaks. And then each of these are the names themselves, those colors. So like there's like white, green, yellow, and blue, I think. And so if you wanted to change one of those, you have these colors right here. So after the 0, you'd press space, and then you just copy and paste that code in. And I mean, that's basically it. You can just kind of, like, if you have one of my GPDs, you can just pretty much just like take out stuff and put in new stuff if you want. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. So, like, if you wanted the D-pad up to be like claymores or something, you could just do space, give, and then you can just come over here, copy it, and then just paste that. And there you go. When you press up on the D-pad, you get a claymore. When you press start. If you were to press back and press, what did I put that on? Up on the D-pad, you'd turn on no clip. But yeah. Trying to think if there's any other little things. When you click save, it'll automatically save it. It'll rehash and resign for you, but I just double check and just rehash and resign in Audio anyway, or Horizon, or whatever you use. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else that I can help you guys with. If you have any questions, you can just leave them in the comment section. I go through the comments a lot, and we'll definitely check and respond to your questions if you have any. That's basically it. So if you like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button. If you want to subscribe, I'm probably going to be making another video soon about modding, or just like downloading and putting in game saves, like modding game saves on like Audio and Horizon. It's really useful, especially in like games like Borderlands, for example. The pre-sequel just came out, so like you could download a game save for that, get a character that you don't want to grind again to get all the way up to whatever the max level is, and then so this way you can just download that game save and then boom, you have that character as well. But yeah, I'll probably make a video about that soon. And that's basically it. So I guess I'll see you guys later.